Good morning, friends, and welcome to this webinar on server administration and cloud computing. In server administration, as you know, it is Red Hat server administration and Windows server administration. And in cloud computing, it is your Amazon Web Services. Okay, so can you please confirm in chat box if you can see my screen and if I'm audible you clearly? Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, so let us keep this session short and sweet. This is Sunday, so it's just a webinar actually. Regular classes will start from tomorrow morning 7 a.m. So I'll just explain you the complete schedule here. Okay, so this is a webinar. I'm repeating, this is a webinar where we'll just try to understand the importance of the server administration and what exactly is the cloud computing concept, why it isn't so much in demand. So we'll just try to address some basic questions here. And if you have any questions or doubts, chat box is always open there. Feel free to send your questions in chat box. And in case if you want to talk to me directly at the end of the session, you can simply unmute yourself and you can talk to me directly. Okay, fine. So let us try to understand few things about the server administration and the AWS. But before we go there, let me just have my formal introduction here. I'm Shakeel Aman here, friends. I have overall 14 plus years of experience in this IT industry. Hmm? When I started my career way back in 2007, 8 or 9 actually, I started as a Windows Server admin. Back in those days, with Windows Server admin, if you have the concept of networking, in networking, let's say CCNA, CCNP, something like this. These are the three courses in networking majorly. So if you have the concept of networking, your career will start with on a good note actually. I repeat, in 2009, 2010, if you know the concept of server administration and the network administration, this was one of the most, easiest way of starting a career. Okay. Now, in server administration, like I said, Windows Server Administration was one of the thing, but with this Windows Server Administration, you simply cannot ignore your Linux Server Administration. If you just go and analyze things across the globe, 95 to 98% servers across the globe, they are running either on Windows Server or on the Linux server. I repeat, 97 to 98% servers within the company or over the internet, they are running on Linux servers or the Windows servers. This is such a important part of our networking, my friend. Servers are indeed the backbone. Because of server only, I can say all the technologies exist today. So when you see a server, the server is running with a server operating system. It can be a Linux server operating system or it can be Windows server operating system. So I started my career from these three technologies. This was the year 2009, 2008, something like this. Now we are in 2025. In 2025, if you want to start your career in this IT industry, maybe you're planning to go with server administration career, network administration career, cloud computing career, DevOps, cyber security, ethical hacking. Maybe you're thinking of any of these things what I have mentioned now, especially cyber security, cloud computing, DevOps. These are like, very high demanding technologies today, right? So if you want to start your career in any of these things, the most basic prerequisites to go with cloud computing, cyber security, and DevOps is you should have good knowledge on the server administration part as well as the network administration part. So 15 years before when I started my career, this was the, basic prerequisites. Today, when you are starting the career, network administration and the server administration is indeed the most basic prerequisites. And if you go, let's say in 2040, after like 15 years, if someone is starting a career in this IT industry, I can say this with 100% guarantee, my friend, the networking concepts and the server administration concept will still remain in demand. Because these three concepts will design the different technologies. Coming to cloud computing, without the knowledge of servers and the networking part, there are many modules in cloud computing that you cannot understand. Without the knowledge of networking and the server administration, there are many modules in DevOps that you cannot understand. And if you go with the cyber security, which is again in huge demand, without the knowledge of server administration and the network administration, you simply cannot understand many things in cyber security. Okay, fine. So this is the way I started my career. But later on, you know what I did? I moved into different technologies. To begin with, virtualization. Virtualization was the go-to technology, let's say 12, 13 years before. Virtualization is indeed the technology which runs everywhere. You know, cloud computing is the technology which runs everywhere. Cloud computing is the technology that runs actually on virtualization technology. Okay, I repeat, cloud computing is a technology where the backbone is actually the virtualization technology. If you remove virtualization from cloud computing, there is nothing like cloud computing, my friend. Okay, so what is virtualization? I'll come to this in great details, but as of now, I have gone through this virtualization technology. I have pretty much experience on this virtualization technology. And then, security. Maybe it is 2009-10 when I started my career, maybe 2025, or maybe let's go back in history, let's say 1995, or let's say in future 2040. Security is something which will be always in demand, right? We should know how to protect our servers, we should know how to protect our data, we should know how to give permissions to users and all those things. Security is indeed a very major role and responsibility of every administrator in every company. So I have gone through this security in great details. So this is what I have done. Then in last, 6, 7 years, actually, I am on cloud computing. Okay. When I went to the cloud, when I started the cloud computing in the year 2016, 17, actually, till 16, I was majorly on the virtualization part. But from 16, 17, when I started learning cloud computing was super easy for me. You know why cloud computing was that much easy for me? There is a very simple reason, my friend. Cloud computing is a concept of where you have concepts from Windows servers, concepts from networking, concepts from Linux server administration, virtualization, and security. Cloud computing is a concept where all the previous technologies are added. There are some chapters in cloud computing where you are learning about security. There are certain chapters in cloud computing where you are learning about virtualization, where you're learning about networking, where you're learning about Windows servers and Linux servers. So for me personally, cloud computing was super easy because I know all these things. Now the question here is it mandatory for you to learn Windows servers, networking, Linux servers, virtualization, security, everything to start cloud computing? If you know any of the other things, like if you know the Linux server administration, that is a added advantage. If you know Windows server administration or the networking part, that is a added advantage. But is it mandatory to know? No, it is not mandatory, my friend. I repeat, it is not mandatory. The reason is, when we start the cloud computing concept, let us say there is a concept that is related to security. What I'll do, I'll start security from the basic. I'll cover all the basics that we need to cover, then I'll go with the advanced part. When we start the networking module there, I'll start from the basics. I'm repeating, if you know the CCNA, complete CCNA, there is well and good. If not, if you're directly moving into cloud computing, then some basics of network is mandatory. So when I start the networking module in cloud computing, again, I'll start from basic. Okay. But if you know the server administration concept, like a basic concept, that will not be enough for you, my friend. Server administration, you know the complete administration. You must know the complete administration. When you mention cloud computing in your resume, you should mention Linux server administration also. If you mention basics of Linux, see, with basics of Linux, you can learn the cloud computing concept. I repeat, with basics of Linux server administration, you can learn the cloud computing. But can you get a job with the basics of Linux? No. So the concept here is, the logic here is, you should know the complete server administration. And with this server administration, if you are mentioning the cloud computing concept in your resume, then you will definitely get many, many interview calls. Getting a job or not getting a job is a different thing. How you are facing the interview, how you are answering questions in the interview, that makes your interview, like that makes your job coming or not coming, right? So first of all, we should get the interview call. So when will you get an interview call? You will get an interview call when the Linux server plus the cloud computing is mentioned in your resume. You can learn cloud computing with basics of Linux. That's not a big deal. You can learn it. But can you get a job? No. You should complete your Linux server administration. So with this Linux server administration and the cloud computing both in your resume, you will definitely get multiple interview calls. And if you can answer properly, how to answer what questions they are asking us, okay, how we can prepare for the interviews and all those things we'll see in coming classes. But as of now, if you can answer the questions properly, let's say 70% questions properly, you will definitely get a job, maybe on a server administration or maybe on a Linux or maybe on the cloud administration. Okay, so this is what it is, my friend. So the package what we have here is, this package consists of two major technologies. One is server admin. In server admin, we are learning Linux server admin plus Windows server. Linux server administration, regular classes will be there, live classes will be there, and Windows server administration, I'll be sharing my previously recorded sessions. Linux servers, live sessions, Windows servers, I'll just share the recorded sessions. This is one thing. And the second part of this package is we have cloud computing. In cloud computing, as you know, we are learning about Amazon Web Services. This is a package, my friend. Server administration, that is Linux, live classes, Windows Server administration, previously recorded classes. And the second thing is cloud computing, where we are learning about Amazon Web Services. Okay, so there are totally 3 courses here, my friend. If you go with these courses individually, probably you are spending 18,000, 20,000 rupees there. But you know, as of now, there is a package here, and in this package, we are offering you all the 3 courses only for 6,999 INR, Indian rupees. Okay, so server administration, cloud computing, and server administration, Linux server administration, the latest version, RHEL 9.x version, we are going with this version. Okay, and in Windows, I'll just share the recordings of the Windows. And coming to the cloud computing, this is a concept which takes around 45 to 50 days actually to complete. So we'll go with these 3 courses here, my friend, and these 3 courses will be only in 6,999. So I'll be handling the Linux server administration classes. I'll be handling the cloud computing classes, and I'll be sharing my Windows server administration recorded classes. So this is the package here, my friend. Okay. And if someone is interested only in cloud computing, let's say they have already completed Linux server administration before they are interested only in cloud computing, well and good. If you have already completed cloud computing, you can come for only Linux. Or if you have already completed Linux server administration, then you can come only for cloud computing. It's up to you to decide. But if someone is planning only for cloud computing without the Linux server administration, that's not the way to go, my friend. That's the reason I'm repeating again and again. You must learn the server administration and the cloud computing. You must put both the technologies in your resume. Okay. If someone is interested only in cloud, you know, AWS will be something like this. If I just go with the fees, Linux server administration will be again something like this. If you just go with these 2 courses individually, you are paying 10,000, probably more than 10,000. But if you come in a package, it will be less than 7,000, right? So that's a good offer to go with. Okay. So this is what it is, my friend. Fine. Now let us see some basic questions that we need to address from the Linux server administration and the Windows server administration. Linux server administration and the cloud computing actually, including Windows server administration. Okay. Now, like I said, you friends, just try to keep this session more interactive. Chat box is there. The chat box is always, you know, open. I'm not disabling chat box anytime. And if you want to talk to me, you can simply unmute yourself and you can talk to me at the end of the session. Okay. So tomorrow, that is Monday, at 7 a.m., we are starting Linux administration new batch. What time? Tomorrow, 7 a.m., Linux administration new batch. And hopefully after a week or 10 days, I will start AWS at morning 6 a.m. Okay, let's say after 10 days, I'll start AWS at 6 a.m. Okay, so in this Linux administration at 7 a.m. batch, we already have few people there. We already have many people actually. They are already coming for some other courses like CCNA and the AWS. They have already started these courses at some other time. So they are also joining us at the 7 a.m. Linux administration class. And whoever is interested from this particular session, they can come tomorrow at 7 a.m. for the Linux administration first demo session. Okay, so tomorrow we'll just focus majorly on the Linux server administration at 7 a.m. But today, like it is a webinar, so we just need to focus on the Linux administration as well as the cloud administration. Got it? So tomorrow, 7 a.m. is the first session of Linux server administration, the live session of Linux administration. And then after a few days, I'll start the AWS after, let's say, 1 week or 10 days at 6 a.m. So parallelly, you can come for both the courses, and in next 45 to 50 days, or let's say maximum 2 months, you can complete your server administration as well as your cloud computing administration. This is the best possible option for you as of now. Timing wise, this is the best possible option because both the classes are starting in a way close to each other, right? 6 a.m. will be AWS after 10 days and 7 a.m. will be Linux administration exactly from tomorrow. That is from Monday, 7 a.m. India Standard Time. Okay, fine. Now let us go there
Sir,
and
hello.
yeah, Vilash, please go ahead.
Sir, if what if we don't want to continue parallelly and only single batch? Then this throughout course will be on 7 a.m. or it will change the time.
See, right now Linux is at 7 a.m., right? And later on, we will start one more AWS class, maybe at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. So if you're not willing to come parallelly, just start your
Hmm.
class at 7 a.m. and later on you can join AWS whenever we start AWS, maybe 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. or evening 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. It's up to you.
So Linux admin class will be only for 10 days.
Not 10 days. Linux admin class will be for 35 to 40 days.
Okay, now AWS after that 30 days as well.
AWS, it will take another 45 days actually.
So total it will take 90 days.
Total, it will take, if you come parallelly, it will take 2 months. If you're not coming parallelly, then it can go up to like 75 days or 80 days.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So as
Yeah.
of now, tomorrow Linux is at 7 a.m. So when I start tomorrow for next, let's say 40 days, it will be only Linux administration at 7 a.m. Okay. And after a week, when I start the AWS at 6 a.m., for next 45 days, it will be AWS at 6 a.m. only. So if you're coming parallelly, you're reducing the number of days. But like I said, if you're not able to attend the courses parallelly, maybe you're in a job somewhere or maybe you have some other commitments, then start with your Linux server administration, and after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whenever we are starting a new batch, every week, every 10 days we'll start a batch, maybe in morning or maybe in evening. So parallelly we are starting batches, continuously we are starting batches. So after, let's say, after 20 days also, if you're planning to go with AWS, just ping me. I'll message you the details whenever I'm starting the new batch, and you can think of that particular time and you can come in. Okay, all the possible options are available for you. It's not like you have to do parallelly, but what I'm saying here is if you have time, then do it parallelly. But if you don't have time, if you don't have that much time actually, then go separately. That's it. Okay, now let us try to understand a few basic questions about cloud computing. You know what I did here? These questions, what I have, added here are the questions that I'll get normally in every demo session or every webinar. And these are the common questions that people go and search on the internet. So I've just taken those questions for the cloud computing as well as for the Linux administration. Okay, so let us try to understand those questions first. See, one of the most basic question is what is cloud computing? See, like I said, you friends, this is a package where we are learning AWS as well as Linux. So let me just answer both the questions from the AWS as well as from the Linux. So what is cloud computing is one of the most common questions you get over the internet for last 7, 8, 9 years actually. Actually, cloud computing started in the year 2006, but cloud computing became more famous, or cloud computing demand was there, I think, from 2019, 20. And once we enter in 20, COVID and all those things. So 1 year it was like here and there, but still 2019 onwards, the demand of cloud computing is at its peak. And for coming many years to come, the demand of cloud computing will be at the highest level. But what if after 10 years, the demand of cloud computing is not there? See, when I say the demand of cloud computing will be there for many more years, means right now they need many cloud administrators who can work for different companies. Right now, there are not that many administrators, my friend. So we need many, many administrators. So after 10 years, you will be under the senior administrators category, right? So what I'm saying here is today the demand is too much. The demand will remain same for many, many years to come. But maybe after 10 years, there are so many cloud administrators that, company can select their administrator from a bunch of people. Maybe today only 10 people are applying for a job, but after 10 years, maybe 100 people can apply for a job. But after 10 years, you will be the senior most administrator sitting somewhere in a company, senior most cloud administrator sitting somewhere in a company. Okay, fine. Now let us try to see what is cloud computing here. See here, friends, when I say a computer network, what exactly it means? So when I say a computer network here, my friend, computer network is a concept where we have server hardware, server operating system, routers, switches, firewall, database, storage, etc. This is your computer network. I repeat, computer network is a concept where we have server hardware, routers, firewalls, database, storage, etc. Every computer network, smallest to the biggest, private to the public, every computer network have all these different hardware devices and different operating systems, applications, and all the other things. Okay. Now, just take an example. Imagine you are establishing a computer network for your company, and in that computer network, let's say there are only 200 servers. 200 server company is a small company, my friend. Medium level companies can have 700, 800,000 servers. Big companies can have 4,000, 8,000, 12,000, 20,000 servers. That will be the number of servers you see in companies. So 200 servers is a small company. So if you are establishing a small company with 200 servers, you know how much money you need to spend here? A server can cost you easily 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh Indian rupees. I repeat, a server can cost you 4 lakh or 5 lakh Indian rupees. A medium level server. If you go with the high configuration server, it can be 10 lakh rupees, 12 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees. It can just go a bit more than 15 lakh rupees also. Okay. So if you want to establish a computer network with 200 servers, you need to take 200 servers, 200 server operating systems, many routers, many switches, many firewalls, database, storage, and we have to add many more components in, my friend. Many more devices we need to add. So overall cost of your computer network can be, let's say, 7 to 8 CR, 7 to 8 crore Indian rupees. Now listen carefully, friends. You are starting a network, right? You are starting a business. So for that business, you need a network. So when you're establishing a network, how much money you are spending here, or how much money your company is spending? 5 crores, 7 crores, 10 crores, 20 crores, 50 crores. Small companies, let's say 3 crores, 4 crores rupees. That is some money, right? 7 to 8 crore rupees is some money, my friend. So a company is spending 7 to 8 crore rupees to establish a computer network where there are 200, approximately 200 servers and all the other devices that are needed like firewalls, database, storage, routers and everything. Now tell me, friends, 7 to 8 crore rupees for any business or for any company or for any person is a very heavy amount, right? Because the business has not yet started. Before the business has even started, they are spending that much money. And there is no guarantee that the business will run perfectly. There is no guarantee that the business will be very successful. But still, they are spending that much money there, my friend. They have to spend it. There is no other option. But the concept of cloud computing came. You know what is the concept of cloud computing? The concept of cloud computing is there are certain, companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and there are many more companies. But if I say Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, these are the three biggest companies we have on the face of the earth. Do you know any company which is bigger than these three companies? Probably no, right? So let us just say Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. You know what these companies will do? They will say, listen, you want to run your business. So to run your business, you need server hardware, server operating system, routers, switches, firewalls, database, storage, and everything. So this company says, why you are spending that much money to bring this complete physical infrastructure? Amazon, Microsoft, Google, these are cloud providers. They will say, why you are spending that much money to bring all these devices? Do one thing. We have the data centers. Amazon says we have the data centers already established at multiple locations across the globe. You can simply use our data centers and you can run your business. You can use our data centers and you can run your applications. You can use our data centers and you can store your data. You can use your you can use our data centers and you can simply use the servers there. This is an open offer from this Amazon, Microsoft, and Google company. These are known as cloud providers. Means my company is somewhere in, let us say, Chennai. So what I'll do, instead of bringing all these devices within my company, I'll just go with the cloud computing. I'll connect to the Amazon data center, which is there in Hyderabad and Mumbai. Company is in Chennai, but the data center of Amazon is in, my company is in Chennai, but Amazon data center is in Hyderabad and Mumbai. So from Chennai, by using a internet connection, a normal internet connection, I can connect to the Amazon data center, which is in Hyderabad, and I can use server hardware, server operating system, routers, firewalls, database, storage, everything from their data center. I'm not installing any of this hardware in my company. I'm not maintaining them. The big thing is I'm not purchasing them. I'm not buying them. I'm simply taking all these resources on lease or on rent. See, such a simple mechanism, right? Such a simple logic is this. So the concept of cloud computing is companies will provide you all the resources that you need to run your business. So instead of spending crores and crores of rupees on day one, we can simply take the resources from these cloud providers and monthly or every 3 months or every 6 months or every 1 year, we can pay the money for whatever resources we are using. This is the concept of cloud computing, my friend. I hope it is clear now. Cloud computing is a concept where we are taking resources on lease or on rent from a cloud provider like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. There are many more cloud providers, but let us just talk about these top three cloud providers. So we'll take resources from them and we will run our applications and we'll store our data. See, 2025, today is 16th March 2025. If you just do a survey across the globe, literally every company is connected to cloud partially or completely. It's very difficult for us to see a company which is not running their servers or which are not storing the data in cloud. It's nearly impossible actually, my friend. Literally every company is connected to cloud, maybe partially or maybe completely. This is the importance of cloud computing. Now, when I say Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, they have the data centers. Let me just show you the size of the data centers that they have, how big the data centers will be. See, these companies are too big companies even to imagine, right? So they have huge infrastructure. If I just go and show you some of the data centers here, friends. Wow, what you see right now on your screen is actually a data center. Can you see those boxes? All these boxes actually. These are like, maybe 10 foot in size, in length, and there are some thousands of boxes. These are actually known as racks. So Amazon people have a data center, which is something like this, and the data center will be spread in a area which can be bigger than, let's say, 20 football grounds or 20 cricket grounds, the actual cricket grounds. That will be the size of the data center. Okay, let me just show you close images. See, this person is working server in a data center, and what this person is holding here, this person is holding actually one server. This is one server. Now see here, how many servers are visible here? Server. There are like, in this particular image only, there are some hundreds of servers available. So overall in this particular data center, there will be some lakhs of servers available, my friend. So Amazon people have a data center where there are some lakhs of servers available, and these servers we can take on lease or on rent and we can run our applications. And you know how much money they will be spending on this data center? Company like Amazon, they will spend, let's say, between 30,000 and it can go up to like 50,000 crore rupees. There is some money, right? Imagine a data center is there somewhere in Hyderabad, and Amazon people are spending 30,000 crore rupees. This is not 30 crore rupees, my friend. I'm saying 30,000 crore rupees they are spending on this data center. And this data center is used by how many people? This data center is used by n number of companies at the same time. Your company is connected to the same data center. My company is connected to the same data center. Your company is running application there. My company is running application there. Your company is storing data there. My company is storing data there. So literally, Amazon people are spending 30, 40, 50, or even more number of, even more money there actually. Okay, so they are spending huge amount of money there. And this money they are spending and they are providing services to the customers. This is the concept of cloud computing. I hope you got some basic idea now about cloud computing, why it is so much in demand. See, if a company is spending that much money, some crores and crores of rupees, just imagine how much profit they are getting. No company will spend 30,000 crore rupees without getting profit, right? So obviously they have to spend that much money there. Okay, so they are getting a lot of profit. So this is the concept of cloud. This is the basic example I can take as of now. There are many more things we need to learn in cloud computing, my friends. So when we go with the concept of cloud, we'll see all these things in great details. But as of now, this is what the cloud is all about. Okay, let us go to some other questions here, like what are the prerequisites for cloud computing? Listen, my friend, there are absolutely no prerequisites to learn cloud computing. Whatever prerequisites you need, everything is added in this particular package. Like you should know the server administration, you should know the basics of networks. I'm adding everything there. Okay, so whatever things are needed, I'll be covering everything for you. So if you're a fresher, you just completed your graduation or masters, and you completed graduation and masters in some other group, let us say BCom, arts, let's say, MBA in marketing, BTech in, let's say, mechanical engineering, something like this. There is no need for you to worry, my friend. There is no coding needed here. There is no programming language needed here. If you are starting your career today as a fresher, if you know how to use the internet, if you know how to use a computer, that is more than enough. This is the only prerequisites you need to have. You just need to know how to use a computer, and you should know how to use the internet. If you know both the things, then you are 100% eligible for learning cloud computing as well as the Linux server administration. Okay, fine. Now, what to learn in cloud, that's a different discussion. There is a package. That package will be shared with you. I think management has shared a different course curriculum there. Let me just okay, so they will share the details of the package, AWS package and the Linux server administration package, whatever we are learning there. They will share all the details with you in an email or through the WhatsApp number, whatever number you have provided there. Okay, so we are learning plenty of services there, my friend. You can just go through the services, and when you come next time in a demo session, tomorrow it will be a demo session. Again, it will be a free demo session, friends. So just try to come tomorrow so that you can get more knowledge of this particular package and you can understand the technology in better way. Next couple of days, you can come by using a free link, and if you're okay with everything what you're learning and what you're like, how I'm presenting and everything, then you can join. So next two sessions are absolutely free for you. Just come and see what exactly we are learning and how we are planning everything there. Okay, so this is what we will learn, and you'll get all the details of this particular package through email or in WhatsApp. Okay, now what next after cloud? See, within cloud, you can see yourself working in cloud for rest of your life. Maybe imagine your age is 25 now. For, let's say, for next 30 years, till the time you became 55 years of age, you will be working in cloud. Or let's say 40 years, till the time you become 65 years of age, you can work within cloud. So cloud is something which is such a, big technology. There are multiple responsibilities and multiple job roles. It's not only one job role here, my friend. There are multiple jobs and multiple responsibilities here. So for rest of your life, you can see yourself working only in the cloud computing platform. It is such a big thing, my friend. Done? Now, so this is something about cloud computing. So hopefully everything is clear now. So let's go there and see a few more things. Yeah, Vaibhav, please go ahead with your question.
Sir, I just want to ask you, if I want to enroll for this course, is there any necessity that we must have what I can say advanced laptop for the configuration so that we can work on that AWS and Linux?
If you have a laptop, let's say with this configuration, i3, let's say 6 GB RAM, that's more than enough.
Not possible. I have only 4 GB RAM. That's why.
Okay. If you have 4 GB RAM, I'll show you how to manage and how to configure everything. Let's say for AWS, there is only the internet connection needed. So for internet connection, 2 GB is also sufficient, right? So it's not a problem for AWS. But for the Linux server administration, we use something called Oracle VirtualBox here. And in this Oracle VirtualBox, we will create some virtual machines. So normally I create a Linux virtual machine with 2 GB RAM. How much? 2 GB RAM. But if you can provide 1 GB RAM for practicals, that's also enough. So when I say 6 GB and i3 processor, I'm just playing safely here. 6 GB will be like very much okay. But in case if you have 4 GB RAM also, you can manage. You can simply, go with one server at a time and you can simply do all the configuration. Not a big deal. But less than 4 GB, my friend, that's not possible. Less than 4 GB RAM is not at all possible. So 4 GB, 6 GB is a minimum we should have. Above 6 GB, whatever you have, that's great. For AWS, whatever is the machine you have, you just need to have a running machine. Because in AWS, we are using the internet connection to do all the practicals. But coming to the Linux server administration, we'll be installing the Linux server within our company, within our laptop, and we can do this. You can do one more thing. Instead of worrying about all these things, actually, you can just take the servers from the cloud. AWS people will provide you free servers. For 1 year, they will provide you free servers. You can take servers from cloud and you can do all the practicals there. So 4 GB RAM is also sufficient for all the practicals, Windows practicals, Linux server administration practicals, as well as your cloud computing practicals. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let me just show you a brief demo here. I'll just go to my AWS account here. This is my account. And here I need to enter some code. I'll explain you what is MFA code in coming classes. That is not the session for today. Let me just open my mobile phone here and there will be some code coming here actually. A 6-digit code. So right now it is 555619. Okay. Eight six seven eight eight nine. Done. So I have just logged into my AWS account. This is the official AWS account here, friends. And so to do browsing, 4 GB RAM is also more than enough, right? I have just logged in here and there is a service called EC2, Elastic Cloud Compute. This is the most important service we have in cloud. So I can just go to this EC2 service here, friends. I can launch an instance here. Don't worry what I'm doing here, friends. I'll explain each and everything in coming classes. So I'll say Linux server. See, I can select Red Hat Linux here. Can you say this is your Red Hat Linux? 9 version. We are learning the 9 version, the latest version. I'll just come down. I'll select some hardware. Can you see here? It is saying free tier eligible. Means this machine is free where we have one processor and 1 GB RAM. That's more than enough. So I'll just go with this free tier eligible. I'll select something called key pair. All these things I need to explain you in coming classes. But as of now, let me just select certain things here, friends. VPC, firewall settings, come down, storage. Let's say I'll go with 25 GB, more than enough. I'll just say launch instance. You know what I did here? I have successfully created a virtual server. Where? In the AWS cloud. In AWS cloud, in which location? In the Singapore location. My server is ready and it is already running. In this server, I can do all the Linux server administration practicals. See, so easy it is, right? So you just need to have this AWS account. How to create AWS account? That's a different session actually. So we'll see how to create AWS account and how to use AWS account in coming classes. But you just need to have this AWS account, which is the free account for 1 year. You can use it for free and you can do all the practicals that you need to do in AWS as well as in the Linux server administration. So see, your server is ready. I can connect to the server, no issues. The server is ready. And in case if you're done with your practicals, you can simply terminate the server. Terminate means you're deleting the server. So a server was created in Singapore region. Now server is deleted. So very soon the server will be terminated permanently. So easy it is to use a cloud computing concept. So whatever you see here, like instances, images, EBS, network and security, load balancer, auto scaling, these services will take approximately 10 to 12 days for me to complete. Okay, so this is your cloud computing AWS cloud account. Actually, whatever you see right now on your screen, this is your actual account that you use for your practicals as well as you use the same account in your companies. Done? Fine. So this is what something about cloud computing, my friend. Now let us go quickly to the next part of our webinar, that is Linux server. Now, what is this Linux server? Now, before I go to the Linux server, let me ask you, what is the application? See, whenever you go to internet, you connect to some application there. You may say PhonePe, you may say YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, okay, WhatsApp. What else you have in your mobile phone? Let's say Ola, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato. Let's say, for example, Hotstar, Geo Cinema, Telegram. These are some of the applications you definitely have in your mobile phone, right? Okay, and let me just go with some more in my mobile phone. What I can see now, I can see SBI, Canara Bank, and I can see Airtel application there. Okay, there are many more applications normally we have in our mobile phone. Now the question here is where exactly these applications are running. Now this is the thing that we need to understand carefully, my friend. Every application that exists on the internet today, that application is running on top of the server operating system. Which server operating system? It can be Windows or it can be Linux server operating system. Remember, in this package, we have Windows as well as Linux, both the servers. So every application that runs on top on internet today or that runs within the company today, for that application, the most basic pre-requirement is this server operating system. Applications will run on top of the server operating system. It can be Windows server, it can be Linux server. And like I said, you friends, in this package, we are learning both the servers, right? So 95 to 98% servers we are covering. Just go to the internet and analyze. 97 to 98% servers are either Windows servers or Linux servers. Just go to any company, 97 to 98% servers are either Windows servers or Linux servers. This is such a big thing, my friend. Okay, now the application is running on the server operating system and server operating system is running on our hardware. This hardware, see, such an interesting concept is this hardware we are taking from cloud. Just now I showed you how to take a server, right? So we are taking hardware from cloud and we are taking the server operating system also from cloud. And then what we are doing there? We are simply running our application there. So what are the applications? Like I said, WhatsApp is application, PhonePe is application, Gmail is application, Ola is application, Zomato is application, right? Instagram is application, Hotstar is application, Truecaller is application. So some game is application. Everything is literally application. So for applications, you need operating system, and for operating system, you need your hardware. So this is what your package is all about, my friend. We are learning about Windows and the Linux server operating system, and then we are learning about our server hardware, how we can take a virtual server from cloud. That is what we are learning there. So literally every company on the face of the earth, they need server administrators as well as cloud administrators, because if these two people are not available in a company, then application or services will not run. Now, when I say two people, I'm not saying only one and two individuals. No, it will be a group of people actually. I repeat, it will be a group of people. For example, if I just go to cloud here, my AWS account again, in company, your responsibility will be on network and security. My responsibility will be on elastic block store. Some other person responsibility will be on auto scaling and load balancing. I'm not managing all the services here. See, if I just go to the main board here, we are learning services like EC2, VPC, S3, IAM, Direct Connect, CloudWatch, Route 53, SNS. We are learning all these services. One person, can they manage all the services? No. Maybe we need, let's say, 30 to 35 people in a small company to manage all the services. If you go with a big company, maybe they need 200 to, let's say, 300 cloud administrators to manage the same services. You are learning many things here, my friend, but once you start working in a company, your responsibility will be there on selected services. For example, if you go to VPC, virtual private cloud, we are learning many things in VPC. But when you start working in a company, your responsibility can be there only on this security concept. That's it. Other services will be taken care by other people. Your responsibility is this. But do you know how to create a VPC? Yes. Do you know about subnets and route tables and internet gateway? Yes, you know all these things. But are you working there? No. You're working in security. Some other person is working here. So the person who is working here, that person also knows about security. But the responsibilities will be divided. One person cannot manage all the services, right? So responsibilities will be divided. Same with your server and same with your cloud. Let me just show you this syllabus. This is a package actually that we are going to cover here, friends. You will get the same link where you will get all this particular package, Linux, Windows, and AWS. Now listen carefully, friends. In Linux, we are learning many things. But once you get a job, your responsibility can be on file and directory permission. That's it. That is the only place where you work, or that is the only service that you are managing. Or maybe your responsibility can be user and group management. Some other person responsibility can be yum and DNF. Some other person responsibility can be backup and restore. So see, server is one, that is your Linux server, but how many people are connecting to the server? Many people are connecting, and every person is doing a different job. So you should know all these things, but when you work, you're working only on one or two services. Now I can get a question here. Can I learn only one or two services? Can I just, learn this particular file and directory permission, and can I get a job? Why should I learn all the other services? It's a human nature, right? I can get this question. Friends, when they are taking the interview, they will ask you questions from file and directory permission. They will ask you what is a soft link and what is a hard link. They will ask you what is a VI editor. They will ask you what is a sudo and everything. They will ask you literally questions from all the topics. Then they will say, fine, you are selected. Come to the office from Monday. And once you go to the office, once you join the company by taking the offer letter and all the other things, they will say, listen, this is your responsibility. Your work from tomorrow is, let us say, on automation, job automation. So you do the same work every day. That's it. This is the way the careers will move. So the hardest part for us is actually learning. Because when you're learning many things. But when you're working on selected services. I repeat, when you're working, you're literally working on selected services. Whatever company has allocated to you, cannot select this service. You cannot say, no, I will work only on backup. I cannot say like this, because maybe some other person is already there who is working on backup. So company will say, no, this is a responsibility we have. The management will decide, the senior administrators will decide. They will say, listen, this is a responsibility we have. So from tomorrow, you'll be responsible for this particular job role. Same in your Linux server administration, same in your cloud. Like I said to my friend, you'll be responsible only for, let's say, network access list and security group. That is a firewall. All the other things that you're learning, that's great. You need to learn everything. But while working, you're working on some selected services. So I always say this, learning is the most, challenging thing. And hopefully I'll just try to present subject in such a way that, learning will look much more easier for you. Okay. Learning is the challenging thing. Working in a company is nothing. If you know the concept, it's nothing. For example, if you know how to drive a car, you can drive a car. If you know how to ride a bike, you can ride a bike. Someone knows how to fly the plane. They can easily fly the plane, right? Many people like me, actually, I am worried. I'm afraid to sit in the flight actually. But there are many people who are flying the plane for last many years. So if you know something, it's done. Okay, working will be easy. Fine. This is something about your package, my friend. I hope you understood what exactly is this package. And like I said, you tomorrow 7 a.m. is the Linux administration class. Already we have many joinings there. People who are coming for the the AWS classes as well as the CCNA classes. They will be joining with us in the same class 7 a.m. I'll be starting everything from the basics, from the scratch. Then I'll be going up to the advanced level. So this is a package where we have 3 courses. Red Hat Server Administration will be live classes. Let me just write it down clearly. And meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to send your questions in chat box. I'll be more than happy to answer every question of yours. So this is your live class, my friend. Every day 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. AWS also will be live classes. Timings, it can be like morning 6 a.m. And coming to the Windows administration, I'll just share the recordings of my previously conducted Windows session classes. Okay, I can see one person has joined now. I think Deepali. See, we have already started the session at 10 a.m. Actually, it's been around 15 minutes. We have started the session. So in case if you want to go through the session again, Deepali, just go to the YouTube channel of DURGASOFT. Hopefully within couple of hours, this session will be uploaded there. The webinar will be uploaded on YouTube, and next couple of classes, that is tomorrow and after tomorrow classes, will be uploaded on YouTube. But after tomorrow and after tomorrow and after day after tomorrow, the classes will be shared directly with the people who have registered for this particular course. Okay, so tomorrow is a demo session at 7 a.m. and this is your purely Linux session. Okay, the course will go for, let's say, 35 to 40 days, and each day class will be for around 1 hour. All the recordings and running notes will be provided. Recordings will be provided by the management. Running notes I will provide. How I'll share the running notes? I'll share the running notes through Google Drive. I have to create a Google Drive. Let's say, for example, these are some of my previous batches. Let's say 6 a.m. batch, Linux 6 a.m., which is already running there. So I just need to share the recordings. I just need to share the running notes with you like this. So whenever I go with a particular topic, I'll share this particular notes with you so that, you know, it will be easy for you to go through these notes, and practically also it will be easy for you to practice everything. Okay. So running notes, I'll share with you directly through Google Drive. And coming to the recordings, management will have the access to the recordings. They will create a Google Drive again, and in that Google Drive, they will share all the recordings. Let me show you one more thing before I get questions from your side. Let me just show you my previous recorded sessions, that how they have shared actually. Okay, this is my CCNA batch. Don't worry about any batch. It is CCNA. So yeah, already 10 sessions are over here. So let me just open one of the session here, friends. Done. It will be something like this. These are the recordings I will share with you. Done. I hope you got the idea now how they are sharing the recordings actually. So every session will be recorded and every session will be shared with you.
Sir,
Done. Over to you
do
now,
we,
friends.
sorry, sir, do we have access of recordings permanently or for limited time?
See, management will provide the recording access only for 6 months. But you know what I'll do in coming classes? I'll share my WhatsApp number. So after a year or so, if you need some of the latest recordings of my classes, I'll keep all the recordings with you, with me. I'll share the recordings with you directly. It's not a big deal. What I'll do here is I'll just take the recordings. Let's say there is a batch running now. I'll take the recordings of this batch. I'll keep these recordings for next like 6 months. So people who have already completed courses with me 2 years before, 3 years before, they need some recordings actually for brush up purpose and all those things. So they directly ping to me on my WhatsApp number or my mail ID. I'll share the recordings with them. But management will share the recordings only for 6 months. Okay. So don't worry about the 6 months. Later on, if you need any of the recordings of my courses, I'll share them with you directly.
Okay, sir. And sir, one more question. After completing this course, for which job role or job profile we can apply?
Not which, how many should be the question actually. Because when you complete this particular course, if you can just write down briefly, let's say Linux server admin, different roles and different responsibilities. I can say like 3 to 4 different roles we can apply here. AWS, different roles and different responsibilities. Windows, different roles and different responsibilities. You're not restricting yourself only to one job role here, my friend. You can apply in a company on different job roles. Linux server administration as a fresher or as a experienced person up to like 2 to 3 years. Windows server administration as a fresher or up to like 2 3 years of experienced person. Amazon web services as a fresher or as 2 3 years of experienced person. That much you can gain from this particular package. So you're not restricting yourself only to one job role. So if you go and analyze today, any company on the face of the earth, they need these 3 people. Literally, they need these 3 people. So in some company, maybe you're applying for Linux. In some company, maybe you're applying for AWS. In some company, maybe you're applying for Windows. But if there is a new company, you're applying for all the 3 responsibilities. So you're simply increasing your job opportunities. So if you can work on different roles, for example, in cricketing terminologies, if someone is an all-rounder who can bat, ball, as well as field, that person demand is more compared to a person who can only bat or compared to a person who can only ball, right? You'll be becoming an all-rounder here where you can perform many different tasks.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now. Okay, again, they have shared the same security content. Okay, I'm still waiting for your questions. If you have any questions, let me just check it once. Thanks for coming. Sunday is not an easy day actually to come for any session. Normally, we have sessions Monday to Friday, and in some cases, if needed, we can just come on, let's say, Saturday, but obviously Sundays will be holiday for sure. Okay, fine. So I can just say one thing here, friends. If you have already decided to go with this career, you have selected a great career. Server administration, network administration, cloud computing. This is something which you can, you know, use for next. You can be in this particular technology for rest of your life. There is no if and but here. This technology is the backbone of internet. Hold on a second. Okay, so if you have already decided to go with this particular, career path, just stick to it. Learn perfectly, then rest of your life, you will simply get many opportunities. Job-wise, many opportunities, and salary-wise, you will get, good offers there. This is something which is globally in demand for many years, and this will remain in demand forever. Because if you just remove servers and cloud, there is no internet, my friend. Can we imagine our life without internet today? See, if there is no internet connection in my mobile phone, I'm not touching my mobile phone in a way, right? If there is no internet connection in my laptop or desktop, literally I'm not touching my laptop and desktop. I think like laptop will work only with the internet connection. That's not true, right? But we are so much used to this internet and all the other things, my friend, that we simply cannot survive. I pay the bill, electricity bill, water bill, mm, house taxes. I buy some clothes and everything on internet. I'm just trying to put you the things what we do on internet. Literally everything we do on internet, and internet is working because of servers and cloud. And this is the package where we are learning about servers and cloud. Okay, done. Over to you now, friends. I'm here for like at least couple of more minutes. Anything else we can see? Or else we can simply stop the session for today. And like I said, tomorrow it will be the first session actually. The Linux administration first demonstration will be there morning 7 a.m. Okay, so hopefully after
Sir,
a couple of days,
is it a weekdays only batch or weekend as well?
weekdays, Monday to Friday it will be there, and some Saturdays we can have a session, but only weekdays, majorly 5 days a week. 5 days a week for sure. In case if there is any festival in middle of the week, we can take off on that particular day, and then we can cover up things on Saturday.
And it will be 7 a.m. throughout the course, right?
It will be 7 a.m. throughout the course, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. for sure. For Linux administration, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. for sure. When I start the AWS, it will be some other time and it will be at that time for the complete course. Okay, now they have shared all the details actually. Last time they have shared some other details by mistake. Now you can see the details they have already shared, like Linux administration and AWS. Course content link is also there, as well as the demo link is also there. So hopefully you can use these links to go through everything.
Uh, Hello.
Yeah, Deepali, please go ahead.
Sir, I want to ask, is there is any necessary prerequisite for this course, or in order to we will get this betterly?
See, when I started this class, actually started the session, this is one of the thing I have focused more. I think you missed this part actually. So there are absolutely no prerequisites. Whatever prerequisites are needed to learn cloud computing and the Linux server administration, I'll be covering everything because I am the one who is taking the complete package, right? It's not like for Linux, you'll be going with some other faculty, or for AWS, you'll be going with some other trainer. No. So I know, like, what are the things we need to learn before we start a major service. So I'll just cover every basic thing that you need to know to start the cloud computing or to start the Linux administration.
Especially, we don't have to prepare for that, right? Means
Nothing, nothing.
we can
Just
we
follow
can
every class. That's more than enough.
okay. So we can start from scratch. We can say like
Exactly. Tomorrow's session is the most basic session for you in the Linux administration.
okay,
We'll be starting everything from scratch, and I'll take you up to like 2 to 3 years of experience person. That much understanding, that much knowledge you will have for sure.
okay.
Okay. So like I said, friends, already we have a group of people who are already coming in some other classes like AWS and CCNA classes. So for them also Linux is there. So they'll also be joining us tomorrow at 7 a.m. And hopefully I'll be seeing some of you, or at least all of you, let's say, in tomorrow 7 a.m. batch. Next two classes will be demos. We'll just try to focus majorly on the Linux server administration part. And then we will start our class. Tomorrow is a regular class, but still we call it as demo because we'll provide these sessions for free. 2 sessions for free. Then later on, the link will be shared only with registered people. Okay, done. This is the package and these are the details about this particular package. I'm still here for like 30 more seconds. Great, I'm getting questions. That's the best thing I can have in a session actually. This session should be very interactive. See, from tomorrow, obviously you'll be using chat box to send me the questions and all those things. Because once I see the question, if the question is related to that particular topic at that particular moment, I'll come to that question at that moment only. But if the question is not related to the topic, I'll come to the question at the end of the class. Keep your chat box as busy as possible. If your chat box is busy, your sessions will be very interesting, my friend. Okay, it's up to you to make your sessions very interesting. I should get some response from your side. I'll be asking many questions and I'm expecting some questions from your side. So we need to prepare for interviews also, right? So that's the way we can prepare for the interviews. Okay, done. So that's it for the reference. Again, thanks a lot for joining. Sunday is not so easy to come. And before I go, I just want to wish all the good luck for you. And like I said, friends, if you have already decided to go with this particular package, just stick to it. You will have a great career in this particular, field. Let's say server administration, cloud administration, and there are plenty of other opportunities you have once you complete this server administration and cloud administration. I repeat, there are plenty of different options you have for sure. Done? Fine. So take care, guys. See you tomorrow, hopefully at 7 a.m. with the Linux server administration.